You know right, assassinate. Airport and Timaya. Moja nananu shegu edigu on my
Memo bibi akwaba eba MELODIES TV so IGP Dampare wija the koko apai. This is Nkrata straight a free the headquarters of Ghana Police eba. Na omodia ne say one tiasie say within the space of 2 weeks ya research and a survey mienu survey ni nemu no police for can the most corrupt institution ewa Ghana two nini na police ena edikan number 1 on tiasie nti wa tro ingrat atenti ingrat me ka say me read it in the night here for me nya sure say me to me read it in na kra but oh there let's try to read it ingrat atenti wo mo de aba atre say ama nkrofo kra no elbow police for no echi yanko ni nko read I say police administration's response to your corruption in Ghana research report. As 1, the police service would like to commend your 3 institutions, the Ghana Statistical Service, Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime for your maiden research on corruption, which according to you was aimed at collecting evidence-based information on forms of corruption to determine the prevalence and prevailing typologies in the country. We assume that such a research is aimed at finding solutions for the country's corruption.
MELODIES TV
problems.
on YouTube.
The service has long acknowledged that some of its personnel may be involved in some corrupt practices and will continue to implement measures to discourage such conduct. It probably would have been helpful if you have engaged us to take on board what is being done by the service and incorporated this into your findings. Now, we'll share the opening paragraph and the second pointer. Asema police work and they say, one more boss and no more research no abaso. Na eyo mo ya say, answer na kombe publish research and number research no. Na nka nkrofo mbra embe hu police for no. Na nka police for ntro mo say, yes, na kwane nyame ni police for bi mu ewo yemu a wo mo edi bonen. Na so nyama ye eni. Dampare nsem a wo kana na police for nsem a wo mo kana no. The third point was say, be that as it may, we have read your report and after a review, we wish to state that we have serious concerns with the research and its findings. However, before we delve into these concerns, we wish to indicate that taking your research and its findings at face value, it is evident that all the institutions surveyed came up as corrupt. Our discomfort, therefore, is the use of a selective ranking methodology to project the outcomes in a manner that puts unfair focus on police service with all the others in your corruption index escaping public scrutiny. Now, police for utumi say police for omo problem and so omo defense e corruption emu. Na ke ya de panic ka so omo defense and komo ni beje. Omo problem and so omo defense for at the born emu. Now, some omo can say why ye list ama we who say police for ye corrupt, judges ye corrupt, teachers ye corrupt, parliament ye corrupt, politicians ye corrupt. Adenti and now the police for air to first. Because yen police for now they akwa to first no. Ama Ghana for I forget about judges no mo ye corrupt no. Ama Ghana for I forget about teachers no mo ye corrupt no biade ne nibre egu yen police for ne so. It to me says I list na ye the police for eto first no and then ye police for ne ya. And then ye police for ne ya na komo person better first. Now, I say, we would appreciate your response to the following concerns to enable us understand your research outcomes and also further shape measures being implemented by the service to improve our service.
MELODIES TV on YouTube.
Just like Dampare, Obetron Krata, tin. Emma at time no, the British High Commissioner to Ghana no, Obisan in Semfuebi, Dampare es also Ebisa. Omo ye research in just a Dampare there udi agro no de obisa we nsem o nti osanso bisa sa omo ye research no obisa omo nsemfo bi. Now the first question was you obisa omo ne say it has been observed that the research did not cover some other public institutions such as the Ghana Port and Harbors Authority. I say, ya chief kronfo no say, madam for assume since you kronfo, I tell am me kwa me kronfo no mo ache me. First question no mu bisa ne say, research no ambo Ghana Port and Harbors Authority ye port yambo mudin e wo research nim. Yambo Ghana Civil Aviation Authority yambo mudin, yambo Audit Service din, Parliamentary Service yambo mudin, Ghana National Service yamfo mo anka ho, Game Commission yamfo mo anka ho, Public Media Houses yamfo mo anka ho, NADMO yamfo. It will be that then I'm crofo in na yamfo mo anka research no. And so say the omo kan waka police phone defense. Hey, penny. Hey. I say the Registrar General's Department, among others, and these are all institutions we believe that the public deal with regularly. That's simple. Just say, I'm very somehow okay. Mean yes you. Yeah. Research. Am I ranking? Your ranking and you see police. For all you know, no, all these people no, one more account, but it be a top 15 list now. You the Barbon one more make it the top 15. It be a research no, out of 50 public institutions. But you to me remember list 15 in na. Yeah, let's see maybe are just top 10 and our top 15, top 20. And these people didn't make the cut for the top 20. And then just said they are not corrupt. It is how they way the first are. So first nimu. Na ye juma. Say, sa first no. Ohana say enye endimbo awa. Ye juma say esobeti. Obeti so aba form. Na fe Dampare de wu ye. And after who baby sansem ane and ye aden na one fa just say
Melodies TV on YouTube.
Poadomotry civil events aviation Civil Aviation Authority Poadomotry baby a Poadomotry events and board chair no omunya ya nanki yemfa Poadomotry munyanka ho nanki yembeka asempeni. Now the second question is more importantly, a further scrutiny of the report shows that your institutions, SRAJ and Ghana Statistical Service, were also not part of the research, and we are wondering why you do not think they are also candidates for corruption investigation, considering that they also provide critical services to the public. So that's what I say. Institutional research, microphobia, ne Ghana for public any deal. I don't know monso wamudin amber list nimu, and just like what I'm saying, ABR they were also part. But the top 15, top 10, they didn't make the cut. Interna Elukisano. I don't know, but that's what I think. The third question was say, we also noticed that some institutions such as the Ghana Revenue Authority were disaggregated into components, with one part touching on custom officers and another part on tax officers. Another example is the Ghana Health Service, where you had doctors, nurses, and midwives in one group, and other health workers in the public hospitals constituting the other group. Even some other institutions such as Public Utility Services, which include the Ghana Water Company, Electricity Company of Ghana, and others, were aggregated as one. One wonders why the lack of consistency in your approach. Now, someone can say, Osha doctors for now, yetiti wa muntem. Ama health sector no. Yetiti wa muntem. The doctors and nurses different. ECG for
Melodies TV on YouTube.
Customs for so omuni na komuye juma Ghana Revenue Authority, but ye no customs officers and tax officers. Inti adentina womo anye consistent. And I think this for this question is a fair question, right? But it doesn't prove anything. It doesn't show still it doesn't speak to the meat of the issue. Say Ghana Police has been ranked as the most corrupt institution in this country. It doesn't. Yes, you are asking a question. Say, okay, I don't think ebimu uchiche wa mumu ebimu uye say anabi another Dampare if say yanchicho mumu ne edibo mu a na kebia police in defense ana. Two big institutions survey Ghana Police mu defense. Questions are ubisa nano. Yes, ubisa, but it doesn't speak to the meat of the issues. I say you are being on the defensive side rather than formulating policies and then making sure, say, the next year, dear Bebano, police for Monamba no esobete. I don't know, but I don't know why Dampare is being on the defensive. Now, see, the fourth question is, in addition, in some instances, you combined different institutions as one entity. For example, prosecutors are not part of the judicial services, but you put them together as one. Also, teachers and lecturers, though both operate in the education sector, do not belong to the same institutions, but were lumped together. We consider this to be a clear case of combining mangoes and oranges to corrupt the flavor of each. I mean, yet again, Osanso can say, washa teachers and lecturers, or more nyepe, or more different institutions, and then I would do more a boom as one. But nini name no, yeah, okay, oh dear. The fifth question is say, for some other institutions, only sections were covered. For example, the judicial service is not made up of only judges. Lecturers, professors, and teachers are not the full complement of the institutions they represent. What about the other officials of these institutions? Do their actions not affect service delivery of their institutions? This is evident that you compare the whole of some of institutions to the parts of some others. In specific terms, you compare the whole of the police service with sections of the judicial service, sections of the GRA, and others. And I mean, okay, so this might also be a good point that Dampare is raising up. So I try to say, the teaching field, it's not made up of only teachers. Ya wonkrofobia wamuye juma ewo GES, but wamonso they are part of the teaching field. The lecturing field and so on, it's not made up of only lecturers. There are a major, there's quite a number of people they are playing administrative role. Wamo engineer and colon enim entro mwade. Embra wo ye the research na wo ye no. Some crofo no uyi omo a single. Teachers for no uyi omo trade nepe. Na denti no omo no wan hwe the whole Ghana education service. Wokoyi teachers for no single. Na yen police for no eno de obehwe yen nyina. Na ka ebia police for no so anka ebia so uyi mu. So ebia CID department corrupt. Ebia say I think that that's what Dampare wanted, right? And I mean it's a genuine point. The sixth point say we know that there are three branches of government, namely the executive, legislature, and judiciary. From our understanding, most of the institutions covered in your research are under the executive branch, and yet you also introduced another institution named the executive branch of government without offering any explanation as to what it constitutes. I say your comment on this will be helpful. Now, also be say, Opa Baimwa, you were three sides. You were parliament, right, which is the legislature. You were president, then the appointees, which is the executive, and you were judges, which is the judiciary. Also, we share research now. Wamu executive for single-handedly rank you. Omu ye no musanso rank the whole of executive. Na wamu ntiase enti no, wamu mbra. Ono Dampare ntiase enti nkrofo mu ye research no. Wamu ede mbwaye bi beba. Eyade a wosusu se ebeboa ye. And went further to say we also read that you use some multiple levels of quality assurance to eliminate errors in your research. By looking at the report, we believe we have good reason to be skeptical about this quality assurance mechanism. For example, we wonder whether you made any attempts to verify and authenticate from any of the affected institutions the credibility of the information given you by the interviewers, since we cannot feel that in the research. Okay, so the eighth one, right? It said, from your report, the corruption prevalence rate is determined by the number of contacts who paid bribes or were asked to pay bribes but refused as a percentage of the total number of contacts. We realize that a contact is defined as at least a single experience with the institution. This suggests that there could be single or multiple contacts. Did you treat multiple contacts and single contacts in the same way, knowing that this would affect the denominator of the corruption prevalence rate formula and therefore the final percentage for each institution and ultimately the ranking? For example, if there are two people and one of them has had only one contact with institution A and the other had 20 contacts with institution B, if we treat the 20 contacts as one contact, then in institution A, there will be one contact, and institution B, there will be one contact. If in institution A, the contact resulted in a bribe, then the prevalence rate will be 100%. And if institution B, the 20 contacts are treated as one, then the prevalence rate will be 100%. However, if we treat the 20 contacts separately, we will have a prevalence rate of 5% for institution B. This means that the prevalence for institution B will be 20 times less than institution A. We would like to know which approach you use. And this is very technical, but is a very good point Dampare is raising. And this shows, indeed, right? This point shows that indeed, at this point, Dampare is sort of knows what he's talking about, right? Once initially, I was like, I mean, just why he was being on the defensive. But point we are raising in the it's a very good point. Now, someone walk in and say, research na your technicalities be a say, ebia ukoshia nipa baako na wo ye ne interview be for the surveyor. Ebia obefa se nipa krono as contact one, as one contact, right? Yemfa ne se ukoshia nkrofo 20. Now the nkrofo 20 nso the same researcher who define all the 20 as one contactor. Right? Who define all the 20 as define all the 20 as one contact and now you form separately. Now the reason why he's asking this no, my main trend same and Makasa same way our channel way open, right? A lot of politicians even use this a lot. Now, yam van say, wa kwa koshia nipa baako. Na we bisa say nipa baako na say, okay, wo hwa ahwa mo na ye corrupt pa na o ka say police for and research na mo be no, o mo tre say police for a ɛhɔ no 100% because ɛyɛ nipa baako pɛ a watre say police for na the most corrupt no 100%. Now ugo share nkrofo 20 na out of some nkrofo 20 no yɛmfa ne say 10 ɛka say ɛyɛ police for a 50% no. You understand? But all the data ne ba abonten na wo betre mu a obi tinechi obeka say hey baby police for nya 100% and a baby omunya 50%. You see the difference of the data. But if you go into the data, you see, say, baby a police near 100% no. A honu nipa ba kopen ye bisa no. And a onobo police, the internal police near 100% no. But baby a police near 50% no. Na enkrofo 20. But often individually, enkrofo 10. And aka se police ye corrupt too. Na so omokra percentage no ewo form. Inti no obisa like the technical mathematics. What you say the arithmetic behind our research, and this indeed is a valid point. I'll give you an example. School be ewo Ghana, I'm say from is it St. Francis the Xavier? No, St. James Seminary. I'm say was Sunyane ho side. So our school no school be I think say they be a wasi. Ye ba top 10 omo a wo mu twa pan ewo Ghana. So our school ne kan. And most of the reasons, no, and they say, other schools, you find say other schools ever present 500 students. Say, ye the omo kwa control wasi. Out of our 500 students, no, you find say, 250 pass with distinction. So our school, no, the omo reports babon. So we say 50% of our students pass with distinction, right? Now, so school be our year SS. On also control wasi, no, maybe our the 10 students pen a coye. Na sa 10 students ni na pass ya. Technically, or more pass with 100% distinction. But nanki kind the number of students bia one more pass pa. Nanka school na present 500 students no. One more nkrofo baku 250 into nanko more dozen. Esin 10 no. So you understand? So it is with this mindset and Dampare ebisa this particular question. And sanya meka no. I think say for the better understanding of the thing, no, or more research, no, they need to bring this data, right? Somebody data way back. Now you to me scrutinizing you who say, okay, this is what is going on. But I mean, still, Dampare is being on the defensive. Just that the question he's asking is a genuine question, right? And you'd appreciate his knowledge on Sahara research now. Obe appreciate it. Say he knows what he's talking about. Now, the 9 points, and they say closely related to point 8. Above is the issue of how often bribes are paid by a single contact to a public official. In your research, it was analyzed in isolation and the average number of times a contact paid bribe during the research period was reported. We want to know how this was factored in the computation of the overall prevalence rate, which informed the contact-based ranking. So, asking questions. I say, the 10th point, from your research, the definition of corruption is about the aggregate of those who paid bribes and those who were asked to pay but refused. The aggregate was used to compute the corruption prevalence rate. We are interested in knowing the portion of those who paid bribes as against those who were asked but refused to pay, and whether those who refused to pay were disadvantaged in the service they required. This will enable us to assess our mechanisms aimed at educating and empowering the public to resist attempts by any officer to engage in any corrupt practices. Now, I say no, the work can say research ni mu no, the definition and by about corruption, the mathematical aggregates, right, of omo a womutia bribe no over omo a yebisa womo but omo ntia. Inti omo tre say the omo de research na womo define corruption, they say omo a womutia bribe over omo a bribe no police for ni bisa nanso omo refuse yes on betia eno no de mathematics no Dampare asem a wo kan say another data wono ebehia and say the aggregate na womo use you for the corruption prevalence rate no omo police were interested in knowing the portion of omo a womo tia bribe no against omo a ye bisa womo a womo ntia, whether omo a womo ntia no womo ye disadvantaged to the service they required. And yemfa say police bisa bribe na owo ntia bribe no the ntia na police ni bisa ebia. Okay, let me give an example. Unam kwan so na police fo ehia police ni shia wa se chale nana so ma me bribe now say oh chale police me ni bi o me ma now no police no ja o ma wo koye ana say bribe na wentua nti o chill e ka say bribe na wentua nti ma chill nti won Dampare question na wo bisa no nti o say o pesa mathematical aggregate no because and also be boa wo mo police for na ama wo mo formulate wo mo policies no so that Ghana ni bi police ni bisa ne bribe police won be trese ne a ye be educate Ghanaians na Ghana for entia bribe emma police. And this is also a good point, right? This is also a good point. I may feel say omo mo research no, they need to also forward all this data to the police, Dampare, because he's asking a very good question, and it can even help the police to reform, right? It can reform the police. So it's a good point that Dampare raising. Now, the 11th point, they say, as you are aware, one of the major consequences of corruption is its ability to take away resources meant for socio-economic development for the benefit of all. Therefore, the value of the amount lost to corruption will play a key role in determining the prevalence of corruption and which institutions are causing the most harm when it comes to the size of bribes paid. When you did the ranking using the value-based size of bribes paid method, we realized that the police service was one of the least corrupt institutions and came nowhere near the top, as per figure 21 of page 32 of your report. This should be projected in the same way that the contact-based ranking is being projected. You also indicated that about 5 billion Ghana cedis was lost to corruption during the period of your research, and we would like to know how much of this was police-related. And this is also a perfect point. I mean, from the last point, Dampare is dropping bangers. A perfect point in Kwano will raise it. As someone what can be simple. Or say, okay, corruption, no. Nini neji na sikane so. And this is a perfect example I'm giving you. Ebia politician je bribe. Politician no bribe na wabeji no. Wabeji ebia 100,000 Ghana cedis and now 1 million Ghana cedis. Police ni omo ye 10 no mo je bribe krana. Ebia police ni je 1 cedi. Now so ohwe data na wo mo aye na ye ranki a ye be ranki police no because e bia police for 10 ajeje 1 cedi 1 cedi 1 cedi into 10 cedis no but ye be ranki say police for aje bribe more than politician ba ko no aje 1 million Ghana cedis no into person atre say some mass na wo mo ye no wrong because ye ka corruption pa ye ne enim say say impuntunjuma because sika was ye de impuntunjuma no ebi mo divert corruption but police for corruption and now wo mo bribe na wo mo je no enye sika bia wo beka say wo de ko ye impuntunjuma what you say because ucha police or kwan so no oje bribe 5 cedi ucha police or kwan so no oje bribe 2 cedi so wo be ye data now they no compare politician ba kwa wo no edge 100,000 and 1 million 2 million na that say data no wa rank police for first now so police for ye kind in monetary value na komo de omo nye compared to the other people nti o see nkrofo quote sika say embra omo ye research no sa amount of money no na ye hwere to corruption nti o sre say wo mo sanso fa data na embra bonten ni enhwe amount of police for a take ye part on that that value what you say it is say ye ni na ya corruption na sika na ye ni na ashe doing corruption here 5 billion me police me dia me so me she ye doing within that 5 billion ma me hu because Dampare susu say ye be hu ne say police for ne sika na be keto because omo no mo nje kese omo de bribe no nkete no moje nti ebia wo musika na be kete ebia charges for ne other people no musika na be kese nti no ne emfanye ne enhwe nipa kra wo ye most corrupt no susu say wo ya sa de na police for ebe di last. There are a lot of people that won't be first than police for, and I mean, frankly speaking, this is also an intelligence point Dampare has raised. It is also an intelligent one. Now, we share the 12 points. Hey, video yet in but nini name is because I want to explain things so people understand. We share the 12 pointer. Also, using your contact based and the value based ranking methods for your analysis. We would like a regional, monthly, and departmental breakdown of your findings for the police service to enable us pinpoint where the issues are and tackle them. Into social research now, omubenya say, oh, ebia, months way police corruption, aha say, mu department we na most corrupt, so that police for be hun baby our tackle. Into ebia a cyber crime unit and a corrupter, na police for not tackle or head on. Ebia the armed robbery. Anti-armed robbery squad and a corrupter no matter ho ebia MTTU and a corrupter no attack ho what you say you know no na Dampare oche but nini nemu no me so the me same way the me can say that is why Dampare is the IGP. I mean you don't need to wait for an outside institution to provide this data. Okay, you as the IGP no, I mean you can form internal researchers to also give you this data on your own. Into musumu spending musika na mo amon fanya mo internal research na mo amon hu fanya mo de outside and no be provide this data here amamo. So that's what I also tell Dampare. With this one, on Wankasa set up team, on Wankasa police for set up team so that they do this. Right? You don't ask the outside they say or mama outside data no. Wankasa yenenya data. Into unya no we say wow data. Now outside I need the brewer. I mean, you can say you don't believe in the data because na anyone out here. So spend money and do your own research. That's what I'll tell Dampare on this point. Now, the 13th point, they say, we also did not see any specific recommendations in the report, and we find it surprising that a major research like this did not offer any recommendations and solutions. It was say a report no I say bonene nkwa no mo kan ye, wo mo anka papaye a ewom. Ana wo mo anka senia wo mo be solve ati ase wo mo anka senia enye so mo anka papa wo mo anka senia wo mo be solve bone no ebia police for mo na mo ye the number 1 ranked corrupt institution in the country ba mo ye ni say ya ye be hu ne say corruption so beti wo mo ho ati ase nti na Dampare expect bibisa. And also what I'll say is say Dampare, you have the men, you have your people, organize your own research, fire policy formation mo. And then it should form policy for the police and find your own solution. You don't expect the outsider to do that for you. I mean, why are you the police there? Because obi investigation and come why Until you have the people, you have the CID men that want to make research and investigations. No, so do it on your own. Use your own men to do it and find the solutions inbuilt. As I said, in-house solution. You don't expect the outsider or no one in police in same and then metro solutions. No, so that one is also there. The 14th point, and they say there is also the real risk that your research may have been affected by a historically pervasive stereotyping of the police service. The service has almost now become the default institution of choice for such research and has therefore encouraged a deep-seated public stereotype over the years. This stereotype may easily influence respondents' choices, and it is therefore fair to expect that you factor it in assessing the validity of your findings. Now, someone what can I say? You can't say stereotype at say adwin pebia and adwin pobia and crofo afa police for 100 da. Because if you know be 10 years ago, police gain a bribe. And they could be saying say, oh, police for omoji bribe and omonje bribe. Obejina there 10 years ago, police for J bribe. I say, hey, police for J me bribe. Uko be saying Obeka say, share 10 years ago, me could do boni omoji me bribe. And now 10 years ago, me ndi boni so omoji me bribe. Until you know there still when the team say police for J bribe because 10 years ago ye no. Until you be a research for yi and a researcher wo mo ye omo de san nyama ni na ka ho a. Na ke be hu ni say oh e be a police for na aba sisia no. I say Dampare say I mean technically what Dampare wants to say ne say e no new administration na aba na say ye judge the administration with the old one I say e wrong. That's basically what I'm getting from this point he's raising, right? And then goes on or say from the foregoing, it is our considered view that the research and its findings are heavily challenged and corrupted from both the academic and practice points of view. We want to place on record that we are passionate about this because the continuous empirically and scientifically unsubstantiated labeling of the police service as the most corrupt institution in the country only goes to feed this perception and damage the reputation of the service as well as weaken the morale of its personnel. As we have all now come to accept, perception tends to be more powerful than reality, and therefore we have no choice than to share our position on this matter. And you see, this point at Dampare raised here, that's the same thing I've been saying about the Electoral Commission and the judiciary. Memamoti has said, when it comes to a sensitive institution, perception is everything. Once people have the perception, say, oh, you're corrupt, it is even more than reality. And that is what Dampare is stating. It is a fact. So, be, oh, Juma wo easy. Now, will be, have a perception, say, it is on you to show people, say, sa, asemna ni bakone kano eyentro. But say, you can also show, you are making that perception grow. And then the easy for the say, judiciary diya say, no. Nti Dampare can say, ebia, obi bube fuse hadenti na Dampare ababe tronkrata tintinti we. It is because of the perception. To want to mean ye komo ho. Waka sa tre Ghana for na Ghana for who said dabi and yes anete. And it has been something that me matina ha aka. The last point I'll make here and say, whilst we wait for your response, please accept the assurance of our highest consideration. Into Washa Dampare signature neboho George Kufu Dampare. Washa or distributee sa statement Emma Ghana Statistical Service, the Commission of Human Rights and Administrative Justice, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, the Public Affairs Department, Ghana Police. If you follow through, through this, I think it's time for you to leave a like and don't subscribe. Subscribe. Muntra your comment box.